And we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today we have on Pope Black. He is the lead founder of Secret Network
I'm good,
Africa.
Andy.
How you
Thanks
doing
for
today,
having me on
Pope?
your podcast.
Of course, you exist to help others understand the need for privacy in blockchain and to understand how this tech will solve real life challenges in Africa. I'd love to start out with Pope. What inspired the creation of Secret Network Africa?
I've been a fan of the blockchain, or I came across the blockchain early 2020 during the COVID-19 period, and I found out something was missing on the blockchain, which was privacy. Then I was like, how will I able to utilize the blockchain fully of the Web3 ecosystem fully without being able to have choice of what's public and what's private? Then I found out about Secret Network, which is a blockchain. Then I began contributing to the network as an agent. For my contribution, my consistency, I was made the secret agent coordinator for Nigeria or African region. Then, as time goes on, due to my consistency, my contribution, I was made the lead for Secret Network Africa. I coordinate and organize activities within the African region for Secret Network. So basically, Web3 has been growing in Africa, but something is missing, which is privacy. Lots of people don't understand the need for privacy on the blockchain. They are much more about how can I make money from the space, how do I gain financial freedom, and most don't really have the basic education, or should I say the fundamental knowledge of the blockchain technology. The only thing they understand is crypto, and I educate people about the blockchain technology itself, making them understand the blockchain is beyond just cryptocurrencies. The blockchain has to do with real life use cases, building solutions to help Africans. And while building these solutions, there's need to consider privacy or to prioritize privacy when building the solution on the blockchain, which is why I've about Web3 and privacy. Thank you very much.
Nice. Yeah, privacy is a very big factor in any sort of technology, I'd say. And I really think cryptocurrency specifically, regardless of the chain, there are a lot of specific chains that are a lot more secure and make sure that your privacy is number one priority over some other chains. And there are chains that, have compromises and it's unfortunate to see, but in reality, I feel as if a chain like Secret can really help Africa with this privacy and security factors. So I'd love to ask now, Pope, how does Secret Network's privacy preserving technology align with the needs and values of African
Thank you very much
users?
for that question. African has been building several solutions on the blockchain. We've seen companies in Africa leveraging on the blockchain for their supply management, the supply chain. We've seen healthcare in Africa trying to utilize the blockchain to build a better healthcare data, but most of them are not considering the need for privacy. And African as a whole, our data has been used by advertisers, monetized, and users losing their data or confidentials because they are not educated about how to keep themselves safe on the blockchain or probably in the Web2 ecosystem. And I feel there is need for us to bridge this gap between transparency and privacy on the blockchain. Most Africans believe, okay, the blockchain is built public by default and there is nothing they can do about it. And this has also hindered some big players in the industry to make use of the blockchain because they felt this is not secure enough for them to make use of it because it's public by default. Not everyone wants to have their health record data on the blockchain public to be able to see. Not everyone wants their financial record being tracked by everyone on the blockchain. Not everyone wants their assets on the blockchain to be seen by everybody. The traditional banking system provides us with some sort of privacy. No one knows my financial record with the traditional banking, except me and the bank, or probably the government, not the public, no, or my friends doesn't. But when it comes to the blockchain, having my wallet address gives you access to my financial history, my assets I own, and everything I've been doing on the blockchain, the app I've interacted with. So I saw the need to, to bring privacy to Africa. Africa is one of the leading continents when it comes to adoption of crypto and blockchain technology. And if Africa needs to lead and also empower other users around the African continent, there is need for them to understand how privacy plays a role in the ecosystem, how they could build on the privacy platform, or how they could utilize some of this privacy tech stack to build a much more secure application, the apps, or secure environment for users in Africa. Which is why CP Network feel the need, okay, let's have a community in Africa. Let's educate Africa about privacy on the blockchain. Let's help Africa build a future with privacy preserving the app. Through that, we have been helping
Nice.
different users, developers, understand the need for privacy and so on. Yeah, thank you.
Where do you think some of the key areas you see, Secret Network Africa making the most significant impact? Would you say it'd be mainly on the privacy aspects, or would it be somewhere on the lines of not being able to see necessarily your transactions whenever you don't necessarily want to? Of it being in the back end where nobody in the public eye can necessarily see the transactions. Would you say where do you see the key areas of most
Okay,
significant?
area which to me is the most significant is private competition. And what does this mean? It means being able to interact with the app privately, having a DeFi application which is front running and MAV resistant, which means your trade, swap, liquidity are all private, just like having a fixed deposit. Yeah,
So nobody
exactly.
else can see it
Just
besides
like
you.
having a fixed deposit in the bank or taking loan from the bank without having the public know about this. And also having NFT with private metadata, being able to encrypt a full length move into an NFT, or being able to encrypt some metadata into an NFT only seen to you or viewable to you, not to anyone else. Or having a game which is private by default, or playing a casino game on the blockchain without having the public or the world knows about the game or the funds in your wallet or whatever it is, and several other use cases as well. So this, I would say, is a significant role we've been playing. Thank you. And also, of course, giving users back the control over their data and financial history on the blockchain.
Definitely. So Pope, I gotta ask now, man. I'd love to know where do you want to take this project? Where do you see it within the next few years to come? And what are your goals for this? Would it really be to empower all of Africa underneath Secret Network Africa? Or where are you trying to get with this?
Thank you
What's
very
the main
much for that
objective?
question. So, one of my objectives is to educate Africa about Web3 and privacy. And in doing so, I've spoken at several major Web3 events in Africa. I've organized several workshops.
You've
Yeah,
hosted some events also, haven't
speaking
you?
at some of these.
I saw that. I saw you had like basically two whole
Yeah,
weeks of events going on, live public speakers
yeah,
and
thanks so
stuff.
much.
That was
That
really
was
cool to
really
see.
awesome because we had over, I think, 200 total attendance during the 2 week sections and several speakers from all over the world. And this was the first time each and every of these participants was exposed to Web3 technology or blockchain technology. And it was really awesome, the feedback and everything. And also with several interactive workshops, hands-on experience interacting with the apps, how it works. So it's beyond just saying it, but doing them practicalizing it themselves to see how it works actually on the blockchain, which is really awesome. One of my goals in Africa is to educate Africans about Web3 and privacy. Also, is to empower African developers to not just any kind of the apps with solution towards Africa. There are lots of problems in Africa and a lot of problems being faced, and these problems can be solved with the use of blockchain. We have, over 54 countries in Africa, and each of the countries is still lacking data management, which can be solved with the blockchain, not just being solved with the blockchain, but solved in a much more secure manner. And there are other several, problems being faced in Africa, which the blockchain can really create a great solution. But in order for the blockchain to create solutions, we need to empower developers in Africa to be able to build a solution. So this is one of my goals in Africa, to be able to empower developers to build the solutions for Africa themselves. Also, for the users, having the right tools, having the right application to use for their daily activities, being able to increase the adoption of cryptocurrency in the African space. and not just increasing adoption, also making sure they understand the real use cases of the blockchain technology beyond just cryptocurrency, which is very important. Also, one of my main goals is to see Secret Network Africa being the biggest hub in Africa when it comes to blockchain, Web3, privacy, because this narrative has not really been pushed by another community except Secret Network Africa when it comes to Web3 and privacy together. And I'm super glad that we are leading this initiative in Africa. I've spoken at one of the biggest events in Rwanda at the Cybertech African Conference. Also, I was among some of the attendees at the Blockchain African Conference at South Africa, where I was able to speak network with several individuals, speakers on the need for privacy on the blockchain, exposing them to another world of the blockchain, which people are not paying attention to. Also, but for now, within the next 5 years, I plan on onboarding 1 million African users to the blockchain ecosystem through Secret Network. Thank you very much.
Nice. So, how do you plan on raising more awareness and building a stronger community behind Secret Network Africa? How do you plan on onboarding the mass to Secret Network Africa and allowing them to send transactions, talk, communicate, create DApps, build out technology on Secrets Network? How do you plan on onboarding all of those? Because I assume there are probably a lot of dry spots where the technological understanding isn't probably there, especially with cryptocurrency in Africa and other parts of the world as well. And I'm just curious what it'd be like to be able to onboard people from third world parts of the country into a chain like Secret Network. What is something like that going to take?
Yeah, I've made lots of research. I've checked out other communities in Africa, what they're doing, and also which way forward. And first thing I think is the way forward is through education. Education is really underrated in the crypto space. I've seen several projects not focus on education, but rather just focus on having users. And in order for you to have active users, they need to be educated about what your project is all about. So one of the ways is through education, both virtual and a real life education. Also organizing meetup, events, workshop, and so on, which is very important.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
events
which
are
is very
probably very
important.
big.
And thirdly, raising funds for startups in Africa, for developers who are looking to build a better solution on the blockchain, raising funds for them, giving them funds, grants to build on the blockchain, and also engaging with communities, collaborating with communities, and also with influencers, small influencers or big influencers within Africa ecosystem, collaborating with them in order for them to create more awareness of brand visibility for the network, educating them as well, and other several strategies which are in the pipelines already. Thank you.
Nice. So, what are the main parts of Africa that you're approaching like the most currently? I'm assuming places like South Africa are very popular spots for crypto. What are some of those regions in Africa that have more crypto adoption compared to
Yeah,
other
Nigeria
regions?
still have the highest crypto adoption all over the world. That's the country it's.
So, South
Yeah,
Africa, Nigeria,
yeah,
any other
South
spots that
Africa,
are pretty
Kenya,
big on crypto?
Nigeria. I think Botswana as well is rising, and Rwanda as well is rising as well, and Ghana. But Nigeria is still the biggest in Africa, and Nigeria has been my primary
Nice.
focus. And also, we are scaling to South Africa, Rwanda, and Botswana as well. Also, Uganda. Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
based in
based out of
Nigeria.
Africa by chance?
Yeah, I'm based in Nigeria.
Nice.
So
That's
we're
awesome.
looking.
And how has the community's response been so far to Secret Network Africa? Whenever you go out into public and you're trying to onboard new people into the community or getting them aware about Secret Network, how's the response been? Are people seeming to be interested or are they
It's
rushing it
two
all?
ways. Some are, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's always either one or
Some are
the
like,
other.
no, there is nothing like privacy on the blockchain. It's impossible. The blockchain was built public by default. How can you say your team integrates privacy into the blockchain? There's no way it could work. I'm like, what? Have you tried it out? Have you made research? Have you checked out Secret Network to see what we are building on the blockchain to know if it's possible to have privacy on the blockchain or not? Why some were really happy about the solution we are providing to Africans and to the whole world as to the whole world. Having been the first blockchain with privacy preserving smart contracts, which is really amazing. Some are fascinated about this idea and they are thrilled to join the community to learn more about the network, to build on the network, or to become a user of the network. Why some still don't really believe it's possible, some still believe, except Ethereum's bringing the solution. They don't think any other project or any other blockchain could provide the solution except it's from Ethereum. So they only receive validity from Ethereum. Except from Ethereum, they think other blockchains are just there. So that's it.
Nice. So, regarding future adoption, it might be challenging and you would definitely make your route. It's just going to take some time, of course. What are some of the goals that you set out to achieve in the past? And you've achieved those. What are some of those things that you've accomplished so far with Secret Network Africa?
Okay, so some of the goals I've achieved in the past was being featured by Binance News on the top news of the day. Yeah, this was towards educating Africans on the need for blockchain and privacy in partnership with cryptocurrency hub in Kenya. Also, one of the major achievements was speaking at the biggest cybertech conference in the whole of Africa at Rwanda. Also, yeah, thanks so much. Also,
Congratulations.
being able to moderate one of the biggest events in Nigeria, being powered by government and stakeholders in blockchain as well, which was last month. Also, being able to speak to over hundreds of devs when it comes to privacy on the blockchain, keynote section, workshop together with the devs, and other several other major achievements. Also, yeah, Nigeria was the highest when it comes to search of secret network in the world. Nigeria had the highest impression when it comes to searching on Google for secret network privacy. To learn more about it, and several other achievements, and so on. Having lots of active users using the network from Africa as well, which is really amazing, and several others. Thank you.
Yeah, that's incredible. I just want to
Thank you.
congratulate you on all those achievements. I believe in the 1% rule, and I believe 1% every day is really going to
Absolutely.
get you towards those goals that you desire and you want to achieve. And as long as you're putting in at least 1% of positive effort every day, I believe that you'll get there. And it seems as if slowly but surely you're getting there to your goals and to you're accomplishing things. And that progress is going to continue to snowball in the right direction. So I'd love to know now, Pope Black, what would you say the biggest long-term goal is? Would it be onboarding a million users to Secret Network Africa, or what is the biggest goal that you have set out for yourself
Onboarding
so
1 million
far?
users to Secret Network. That's the biggest. Yeah,
Is that
and
it
it's very
exactly?
hard. Yeah, it's
Wow, took
very
it right
hard
out of your
to be
mouth.
honest. But this is really possible to be honest. It's possible. It's going to take some time, but it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. So is that the main focus on how you'll measure the success, the impact of Secret Network Africa based upon how many users are
Yes,
starting to use
and
the
not
platform?
just random users, active users, which I'm much more focused on. There is difference between having users and having active
Yeah.
users. So I'm much more focused on the active users.
Nice. What excites you the most going forward into 2024 as it's about 2 months away
Okay,
from
what
now?
excites me the most is that now Secret Network has have a very strong recognition in Africa. Most of the African countries now recognize Secret Network as a privacy hub for Africa. When speaking about privacy in Africa, the first thing that comes to your mind is Secret Network because we've created that brand visibilities for developers and users in Africa, and this is something I'm really happy about. We look forward to achieving more of this.
Awesome. Pope, I appreciate your time. If there's anything else you'd like to leave on the table, now would be the time to say so. But once again, I appreciate everything that you've had to offer today. I look forward to seeing how Secret Network Africa will do in the future. And yeah, that's really it for me. I appreciate everything once again. And if there's anything else that you'd
Yeah,
like to
thanks so
say,
much
now
for
would be the
having me.
time.
I really appreciate. What I would love to say is based on the demand from people thinking the only solution for privacy would be on Ethereum. We've begun this initiative called Secret Ethereum, which allows Ethereum developers to integrate secret network tech stack into the existing blockchain or into the existing DApp, which allows them to build much more privacy focused DApp or use some of the privacy use cases as well from secret network, which is really amazing, making it much more scalable and interoperable with several chains and the apps.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, this has been the Alt Kings podcast. And if you like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah,
And we will see you
make
all
sure you like
next
and
episode.
subscribe. Thanks.
Peace. Thanks.